Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I did this pink and white ombre. Real cute, classic, pink and white. Yeah. So I actually already had prepped the nails before I started recording. So you guys are going to just see me start with the application of the tips. But to prep, I just used my 180 grit sanding band and remove the shine, remove the cuticle. So yeah, here I'm just going in with my tips. Everything will be linked down below. So now that I've applied all my tips, I'm just cutting it to her desired length. She basically wanted me to just cut the number off, so I just cut the number off of the pointer finger, and then I shape every other finger. I cut every other finger to be even with that finger. And I'm pretty sure I added another tip to the pinky off camera because the pinky always seems to be shorter when they want it that long, so... So now I'm starting to shape the nails. I'm using an 80/80 grit files from my local nail supply store. Again, everything will be linked down below, but yeah, I'm just starting to shape them. I did these more on the tapered square side, so you just want to make sure that you're keeping your file nice and straight so you can get a nice crisp shape. And yeah, just keep it straight. Make sure that you're looking at it from all different angles. Don't just go through the motions. Actually look at it and go back and forth from both sides so that you don't take off too much from one side. And I've mentioned this in my last video as well. You guys will see me use my drill sometimes too to also just help get my shaping. So that really just comes with your judgment as you are making sure that you're looking at your shape. You'll see what you need to fix and what you don't, so you can always use your drill to help you get it nice and straight. So after I finish shaping all of the nails, I'm going back in with my sanding band to blend the tip with the natural nail. So you just want to make sure that if you run your finger over it, you can't feel the difference between where the tip starts. You just want it to feel like one whole nail. So that's also going to help with like lifting. If you make sure that you blend your tip really, really good, that's going to help the nails last long as well. So now that I finished blending the tip, I am just prepping my nails with Mia Secret dehydrator and primer. So I dehydrate all 10 nails one time, and then I prime just the hand that I'm working on twice. And then once I get to the other hand, I'll prime that hand. I just like it better that way because the primer is sticky. So if you prime both hands at the same time, if they decide to use their other hand to grab something, like there's gonna be lint all over their fingers, and that's really the most annoying thing. Like if you do nails, you know. So yeah, just to avoid that, I just prime one hand at a time. Just make sure that you don't forget to prime the second hand when you get to it. That's probably the only thing. But what you can do is just make sure that you leave like your primer visible somewhere in front of you so that when you get to the other hand, you don't forget. It's not like out of sight, out of mind. But yeah, so after I finish my priming and everything, I'm going to be using Valentino Super White for the white, and then the pink, it's either Princessita or Cotton Candy. I'm pretty sure it's Princessita. That's the one that's like my most used pink. So I'll link down both either way, because those are probably the two pinks I use the most. But for sure, everybody loves Princessita. So my brush is from my local nail supply store. It's a size 10. And the liquid I'm using is also Mia Secret. So for my ombre, I basically do it the same way that I do my regular like one color full set. So I'm going to place my first bead right where the natural nail and the tip meet. It's just obviously everything with this you're going to want to take smaller beads because you have to encapsulate it. So just make sure all your beads are a little bit smaller. But yeah, I'm just placing that first bead down. I'm going to make sure that I blend the top of it so it's not so harsh, and then drag it to the end of the nail. I'm going to do that to all 5 fingers, and then I'm going to come back and add my pink. Okay, so now that I'm moving on to my pink, you're gonna see for some nails I do 2 beads, for some I do 3. I'm definitely taking super, super, super small beads for this because we do have to encapsulate, but I'm just really trying to get a good blend. So I always place my first bead where the white like starts right on top of it. That's where I place my first bead. You just want to make sure you keep the bulk of it where you place it, and then once it starts to cure a little bit, I just swipe it down, and I keep swiping very lightly until I get a good blend. And then after that, I'm either going to place one more bead, to make my blend look a little better, or I'm just going to go right in with the cuticle bead. But either way, you just want to make sure that you take really, really small beads and that you are controlling your acrylic. So don't let them be too wet. You don't want them to be too dry. Just practice your liquid to powder ratio. You guys can see how I dip it in the liquid and everything like that. So when you place your cuticle bead, also just make sure you're not placing it right on the cuticle. You kind of want to place it a little bit behind it so that you can push it up into it and make sure that, you're not flooding the cuticle. And then also just make sure that you're holding the finger downwards so gravity can kind of help you do the work. So I'm just going to let you guys watch me add the pink and get my blend how I want it. And put the pink over the white. So whenever I had finished with my pink, sometimes the blend looks great the first time, but I just feel like it needs just a little something. So I just added a little bead of white on the tip and blended it upwards. It was a pretty wet bead, yeah, because I just wanted to make that blend a little bit better. So that's also a little trick you guys can do if you don't feel like your bottom color is showing as much as you want it to. So now I am going to start encapsulating the nails. I always encapsulate with one bead, and then if I need to add a little cleanup bead, I'll add that. But I'm just using Mia Secret's clear to encapsulate. So you guys will see, I just place my bead. I get a pretty good size bead, I would say medium, like a big medium size bead. And I place that right under the cuticle. I hold the finger downwards, kind of like gravity pull it. And then I just push my acrylic up into the cuticle and lightly swipe it throughout the nail to get it nice and even, nice and flat. You don't want it to be bumpy or anything, so just make sure you're looking at it from different angles. And then also just make sure that you are always wiping the sides of the nail so that you can keep your shape, and that you're cutting the tip off so that you can do minimal filing at the end. You just want to keep it as nice and clean as possible so that you can cut a lot of your filing time. So this is what the application looked like. And now I'm about to go into filing. So basically I start off with my hand file. Like I said, this is 80/80 grit. And I'm just going to start by cleaning up the shape, filing the sides of the nail, and then I'm going to file the top just to make sure that it's nice and smooth, no bumps, get it as flat as I can. And then after that, I'm just going to go in with my fine drill bit to clean up the cuticle. Also, when I use the hand file, I don't file the tip yet because I'm going to flip the hand over and file the tip. So now that we are on to our cuticle filing, my drill bit is a fine drill bit from Amazon. It'll be linked down below. So at first, I'm just going over the top strictly to just remove the lines from the hand file. I'm going to go underneath the sides to get rid of any extra tip or extra acrylic, because if you leave that under there, it can take away from the shape sometimes. So yeah, we're just going to remove that, and then I'm going to seal my cuticle. So now that I've filed the sides all once again, I'm just flipping her hand over and I'm making sure that I hold her hand really straight and that I also hold my file really straight so I can get that nice crisp top. So this is what her nails look like after I filed them. And then she went to go wash her hands. I applied my top coat, which is from Not Polish, and my cuticle oil. And this was the final result. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, all that. And I will see you guys next time.